Hi, welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. Today I am doing a flip through and review of the Dolmenwood official adventure scenario Emelda's Song by Scott Malthouse. I recently had the opportunity to run this adventure for my Dolmenwood campaign, and we had a lot of fun doing it. Again, it is a short book. I think it's about 40 pages end to end, and including the covers. As always, the adventures for the Dolmenwood series that come in this small form come with maps in the end papers that provided scale. And this adventure is kind of unique in that it starts with kind of a celebration social scenario, which is really fantastic and created some great opportunities for roleplay. I guess I should probably talk about development and editing by Noah Green, Gavin Norman, and Rabbit Stoddard. Layout was by Sasha Schnitzer. Cover illustration by Mish Scott. Interior illustrations by Tom Killian, and cartography by Glenn Steele. And playtest referees Corey Farash, River Foster, Fionn Kusner, and Jack Robling. So, yeah, Emelda's Song. Of course, the table of contents kind of shows the structure of the adventure. It starts with the introduction. You got the referee's background, the player's background, the hooks, the Breggles involved in this whole thing, the Shadholm grounds, the Shadholm Lodge, the upper crypts, the lower crypts, and then an epilogue. So this whole adventure takes place in the Shadholm in a Hex 7-9 in the Dolmenwood campaign setting, which is just north of Lankshorn. Luckily, this is where my party already had been. And I also have a knight, a Breggle knight in my party, who is a knight of the Ramius family. So he like works for Lord Ramius, or is a servant of Lord Ramius. So it was super easy to hook him in with one of the hooks provided. It's for level 2 to 4, and yeah, there's some pretty good treasure in this place. The referee's background breaks down the core of kind of what's happening here. So Lord Malbleat, who my party had already met before and disliked intensely, is kind of the main jerk of this adventure. Lord Rygot Gnarlgruff is his ancestor, and is the character that Lord Malbleat is trying to raise. He's a restless spirit. But actually, his spirit, his restless spirit, still lingers in the mortal world, bound to the ruins of his ancient laboratory. So there is another place in Dolmenwood that they can still interact with this guy, and I'm hoping that they will. I'm very excited about that. The Shadholm is, of course, in the southern reaches of 0709. It has a lodge. There's a crypt laboratory kind of beneath, down in the tombs. And then there's the Black Tomb, which is like the deepest part of the whole thing. That's where Lord Gnarlgruff is buried. There is a necromantic conspiracy to bring him back. Includes the Book of Foul Wonders, which is a book that's down there. The ritual text is written in a language that is hard to, not a lot of people know it. And so they've had to kidnap some people to interpret the book. They've kidnapped an Emelda Wishhorn as the singer for an accompanying song as part of the ritual. And they also have an alchemist who is creating the potion required. So there's a bunch of components to the necromancy spell here, and I think this is one of the strengths of the Dolmenwood writing and kind of the style of the campaign, is that everything feels very mythic. It has lots of components to it. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is just a spell that you know. It's like, no, it's a book with a ritual in it that has to be interpreted by a guy who knows an ancient language. It involves making a potion with a bunch of weird ingredients, and then you got to feed it to a singer who is then going to sing this song while you do the ritual. Like, it's just a lot involved, which is great. Really makes it feel lived in. The kidnappings are described here, and then you've got the Hlerebuk which is the festival that is kind of being used as a guise for this ritual. The player background is a nice set of information that you can give to your players beforehand that kind of sets them up. Also, there's a brief discussion here about the investigation in Lankshorn. Lucky for me, my party had already gotten some of these rumors in previous adventure sessions, and ultimately started off by searching the Church of St. Pastry, and in which they found the secret path to the tunnel mouth here. And then I also had them hooked in with the Spy Master, who reached out to the knight, and the distraught aunt, who beseeched some of the party members who were hanging out at the inn. I did not use the Druin hook, but I could have. This Breggles section here mostly just provides stat blocks for the different Breggles that the party might interact with, and likely will. Then we get into the Shadowhome grounds. Of course, you've got your random encounters here. The festival fields, the party definitely went there to have some drinks and some food, and I was able to use the food and drink options that are provided from the player's book. So the Dolmenwood player's book has some fun little interactive food and drink options. The watch house the party never went to because they came in through 3. So this is a Lankshorn tunnel mouth, 3 obviously, and they came through here and did not go to the Memorial Gardens. They were planning on going and visiting the groundsman's cottage, but did not end up going there, and instead as they were walking by, noted that the memorial chapel did not look locked, and so they ended up popping in, and they found the key on the back of the altar, and my elf used his shadow door ability to disappear into a shadow and appear down at the bottom of the shaft of this secret place here. So he basically split the party, and one of the other party members was searching around where he had gone through the shadows and ended up finding the key. So they did end up opening up this and heading basically straight past the groundsman's cottage, the Shadhome Lodge, kind of the whole Shadhome Lodge, including the entry foyer, the cloakroom, the salon, with a ton of NPC encounters that never happened. The dining hall never happened. The kitchen, love the art in here. And they ended up in the shaft bottom, 13, in the upper crypts. So one of the things about this adventure that I want to call out right now is it's amazing in that the groundsman's cottage has an access to the dungeon, the Shadhome Lodge has 2 access points to the dungeon, and the Memorial Crypt has an access point to the dungeon. So there are 4 different ways to get into this dungeon, and each of them kind of creates their own problems. So if you come in through the groundsman's cottage, you're going to end up in the botanical labs. If you come in through the kitchen, you're going to end up down in the wine cellar. If you go in through the salon, you're going to end up in the crypt entrance, like 21 crypt entrance. And if you do like my party did, through the secret entrance, they end up at the shaft bottom. So, party at the shaft bottom. They pop out of here, and there's a couple Breggle Shorthorn guards who, it says here to make reaction rolls. So, they were wary. The party, I think, ultimately started attacking them and dealing with them, and ended up drawing attention from the alchemist and her ilk over in 17. And so she comes over and basically kind of plays it cool with these guys and like tries to buy time while her assistants go to fetch more guards. While that happened, one of my party members scooted up to 16, and found the imprisoned sprites and freed them, but they were still drugged, so they couldn't really give her back anything. Ultimately, the party did end up defeating all of the Breggle, including the alchemist and her assistants, and nobody escaped. Although they did end up having to chase them out into the botanical labs and dealt with some insect swarm on the way back. But they went back. And they went back to 15, where they found Farnham Ribblemead, the sage, whom they had known before. They had actually hired him to help them with some information about Langston. And so he tells them about the plot. Of course, at this point, they have cleared the alchemist's lab, so they've found the potions involved, and so they know what the post-ritual potion does. And at this point, they were pretty hurt. I think they were in, not dire straits, but they had been pretty beaten up by this, that, and the other thing. They had not gone to the wine cellar, so they never ended up going there. They never went to the worm hall. Instead, they went on to the crypt entrance and then down into the family crypt's upper, where they faced two devil goats who charged and missed the knight. So, the devil goats were fun, but they were super cool. Like, the party was like, oh, what are these things? And described them. And as they're described, they're terrifying. They're like goats with 3 red eyes and like they're size of ponies and they have fangs. It's just crazy. So devil goats are amazing. I'm going to use those again. But the party defeated them, went down the stairs, and into the lower crypts. The lower crypts is where things really kind of got crazy. Because they rolled up to this door. There are 4 longhorn skeletons there that are no joke at all. These are level 3 creatures. 2 of them have 18 and 19 hit points. And they do 3 attacks. So they get 2 claw attacks and a horn each. The party basically... one of my party members went down and had to use the amulet that he had earned from the Winter's Daughter to cast a wish to like bring his character back. Actually, it was another party member who did that, but like that's how we got the party member back. They cleared. That's his second character, by the way. Like he's on his second character already. It was the Bregel Knight. They finished this up, got into the antechamber, which is locked, and so they ended up taking some rope and binding the iron rings there and breaking them down with a 45 combined strength. So that worked. And then Lord Malbleat is in there with inside the black tomb, finishing the ritual. Fortunately, they had the potion to end the singing. They ran over, did that, while another member attacked Malbleat, causing him to vanish. He uses the Ring of Vanishing to teleport to the surface. With him gone and Emelda stopped singing, Lord Rygot Gnarlgruff was never summoned, and the party has the Book of Foul Wonders in their possession. But, unfortunately, Malbleat effectively escapes. He rallies his knights and soldiers in the Shadholm grounds. He accuses the PCs of necromancy and sorcery most foul, and sends his righteously enraged minions to capture them. So now the party is on the run, running through the Dolmenwood without a civilization to turn to. They cannot return to Lankshorn. So their best option is to continue east until they can get to Brackenwall, Castle Brackenwall, and turn in the evidence they have to the authorities there and kind of prove what they can. They've got Emelda with them. They've got Farnham with them. So I think it's going to be a fun little hex crawl from here on out until they either get to Blackswell or they get to Brackenwall. That is I think this is probably... it's just such a good adventure. I've been so impressed with the Dolmenwood adventure books. And this one, obviously doesn't change anything there. I think the only thing that I would say was a little frustrating is I prepped this, right? I really was like, okay, because I don't know where they're going to go, I really do want to prep this. And so when I get to the Shadholm Lodge, there's like 20 people here. And the possibility of rolling a lot of people in each location is very, I rolled all of them. So I think there was like 10 people in the, where is it? In the salon? there's two places where you roll for the number of guests. And I think maybe it's or maybe there's three. It's like the salon. Oh, and then the banquet table. And so I actually rolled max dice for both of these, which meant that I had 24 NPCs, but there's only 20 NPCs here. Also, I rolled near max for the garden, 4 here. And so I just ended up using, I think, these characters, these optional guests here as the garden people. But again, my party never interacted with any of them. They just went straight into the dungeon. And so, it's a little bit like, first of all, I feel like it would actually be pretty hard to kind of stitch together what's happening here without kind of knowing beforehand who's in the room. And rolling like 10 people in a room at runtime feels weird to me. That seemed like a very strange design decision. So while it's nice to have this listing here, I think the temptation, certainly the one I fell into, was to roll ahead of time who was in these rooms, but then to have those rooms never actually get accessed felt pretty weird. So that's the one kind of thing that I felt a little weird about, was that I ended up kind of over prepping some stuff that I never ended up using, which is too bad because I think this is really interesting, great stuff. Hildrep Pelicorn, elderly, graceful, flirtatious and wise, a noble, Ramius. Like, this is great, punchy stuff. Getting the cool secrets out of people is really great. If they had connected with any of these people, it would have been amazing. But none of that happened, and that's almost too bad. It's like I was robbed by the juiciness of the secret doors. You know what I mean? All right. That's my review of Dolmenwood's Emelda's Song. If you like these videos, I hope you will hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of them, you should subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified when new ones come out. You can also get early access to these videos and my other videos by joining my Patreon at patreon.com/WatcherDM, or you can pick up any of our adventures and games at WatcherDM.com or on itch.io or on DriveThruRPG. There'll be links down in the description. I will try and provide affiliate links for the Dolmenwood books if I can. I'm actually not sure if they're available on DriveThru. If they're not, I'll provide links for where you can get them for sure. But yeah, I hope you like it. It's been a lot of fun. I'll see you in the next one.